Good after evening, noon, y'all. Welcome to Ham Radio Kids Table. We're not your grandfather's ham radio.
Uh, Frank, I was ready to do it this time.
Right.
I said
Okay.
I
I'm
had
sure you were.
prepared all week long. I knew
all
Vince
week.
wasn't going to be here. I've been doing it in
Right.
front of the mirror.
Mhm.
I've been, and then you just stole my thunder,
Sure,
just like
sure
that.
you were.
I feel like we need to just start over again, redo it.
Yeah. Let's redo it. Let's kill another 4
Man.
minutes. Sure.
Well, unfortunately, we do not have that time tonight. We we are going to need to get this plane in the air and going and get off the runway as soon as we can. So we're going to kind of skip the introductions a little much. We know everybody here, but we do have somebody new with us tonight, and that's Jory. And Jory is the programming brains behind all this scripting and stuff that Freddie Mac has been doing on his Discord channel and with ASL3 specifically. And so we wanted to get in there and kind of put a face behind the name and hopefully you guys have got some questions tonight, some thoughts of where we would like to where you'd like to see things going, and if you're having some issues, maybe we can get some pipelines, some channels, some ways to help people out. So real quick, Jory, if you want to give us a quick introduction about yourself and your background with programming and amateur radio.
I've been an amateur operator since about 2015, and of course, I've been working with Linux since halfway through the year 1995. So I've got 30 years with Linux. So programming just about every language out there I can program in. So it's pretty much all I do nowadays.
And I tell
Awesome.
you what, he's good at it.
That's
I can
what I've
write a
heard somebody say quite a
I
bit.
could write a script and Jory comes in and said, "Hey, that's all right, but let's try this," and it cleans the shit out of it.
Sorry.
Well,
No, it's totally awesome. Actually, I am not one of these people that say, "Hey, I did it the right way the first time," because I know I don't know what I'm doing.
well, the good news is there's always room for improvement. But what's that, Freddie?
I said exactly. That's exactly
yeah.
right.
Absolutely.
That's really
Well,
solid.
where, I guess, Freddie, would you like to kind of discuss where Jory came into you and Jory cross paths and
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be, I want to say, and Jory, correct me if I'm wrong, we may have first met up at an interaction through my GitHub page.
YouTube.
Was it you? Oh, it was YouTube. It was. It really was. See, my memory sucks. It really does. But it's like, okay, this guy sounds like you know what he's talking about. But I'm always a little standoffish at first because I've had some real weird interactions with folks on the internet. I can't imagine why that would be a thing. I really don't.
Weird
Weird
interactions with people on the internet. No,
Yeah.
everyone's nice and everything.
And yes, and just it's always a pleasant experience. But we interacted a little bit at first, and then more as time went on. And I established the GitHub page, and him and someone else, I want to say, were sending me pull requests, and I'm like, okay, let's see where this is going. And shoot, we didn't have nowhere to go but up. Number one, but we went up fast, in my opinion, in my estimation, because the scripts that we were writing, and mainly Jory, when I say we, I mean mainly Jory, are just doing nothing but good.
you
helping a
were
lot of people out.
supervising, right?
Well, I'm the idea guy.
Oh, okay.
Like, hey, we could really do this, and
Yeah.
and of course, my stuff is like what I know about scripting and interacting with ChatGPT, who's not always right by any stretch of the imagination, but ironically enough, knows a lot about Debian 12. So it really helped me create just a couple of little scripts here and there. And Joy joined the Discord and man, jumps right in there and helps people out with problems because I was getting a little overwhelmed, obviously. And between him and a few other guys, they were really, really taking up the slack, and I'm jumping in where I can. And getting ideas for new scripts or additions, modifications.
So Freddie's the idea guy, and
It
Jory
ain't been
puts
nothing
it
but
to
good
use,
right now.
puts it to implementation.
He can make it a reality in most, and I don't know Jory's limitations. Only Jory knows that. But I tell you what, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did without him. I guarantee you.
The
all I can
sky's
say
the
about
limit.
Amen. And I love me some Linux.
If I can just get you to quit rebooting every time.
Oh,
Dude, that's going to be a hard one to drive out all them stinking years with Windows. It's hard. But yeah, I'm really trying to pull back on rebooting for everything.
Freddie,
The other thing I got to
Freddie,
teach him is how to use his tab key to
Oh, yeah, to fill
bash
out.
complete.
Yes.
Freddie, I'll make it easy for you. Linux is like Motorola. You never have to reboot it. It's just always there.
Well,
It always works.
Pretty good analogy, but I'm like Jeff. I've got a little bit of pessimist in there that's always say never. But
True, but you get the idea.
yeah, yes, totally. We were having this discussion at work today because I'm like, they keep calling me the radio guy, but there's a few of them there that understand that Motorola in what we do there is the better option, but we can't always afford the better option. When you're a small county, little money. But if I can get Motorola, getting Motorola. It's just all there is to it.
Exactly.
But we got a lot of Tate floating around, and don't get me wrong, it's a decent brand. I'd take Motorola over any of them any day.
I'll leave Tate alone, and I had to make sure I said that the right way because, well, yeah.
And I didn't know it until the other day, but Harris bought Tate out
Long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm like, okay, so I guess we're back down to two big companies, more or less. I don't know.
the question is can we run All-Star on Tate
On a Motorola
or Motorola
Tate?
radio?
You can run All-Star on any radio in this world as long as you can access 5 things: COS, PTT, audio in, audio out, and ground. As long as you can get access to those things on those radios, you can make an All-Star node out of it.
So the answer is yes, you can.
Sure. I'm fixing to switch my home All-Star node over from this TYT to a XPR, a Motorola XPR 4350. It's one of those 32 channel jobs, a little simpler, but I'm going to leave it in analog, but the receiver on it is out of this world.
Primo analog. Absolutely.
Yes.
I have a 4550, so I know.
I've got a 4550 as well, but I'm not going to waste it on a node. It's going in the truck.
Yeah, the 4550 is for DMR.
Yeah. So this is a radio that you're gonna get more power out of. Obviously, more than just a hotspot.
Well, yeah, and it's a mobile radio that I use for my home node, which I'm using a mobile radio now, and I ran a antenna outside, and that's where I hid my little UHF J pole right above the television antenna. My wife still hasn't noticed that yet. And I've got the node set for about 10 watts. I got a cooling fan on it in case we talk a lot, and I connect to a lot of nets. And I can hit that thing 4 miles away. I can hit it 4 miles away, and I can talk all over downtown Henrietta on a walkie. And it's not a big deal. But if I wanted to juice it up and up to 40, 50 watts, if it was VHF, I could hit it up to 50 watts. And put a good cooling fan on it and whole 9 yards. I could. I just haven't had a need for it just yet. Excuse me. But
so people thinking about getting started with, let's say, minimal to no computer skills, just an average user, is it better to go with like a Raspberry Pi type situation where you can pretty much take the preloaded image and on a SD card and drop it in, or is it better to go with maybe just like the full Debian version and go that route? I mean, obviously a lot of it has to do with complications, but which do you think is better for them? Taking the pre-canned, we'll call it an appliance, pre-canned appliance version versus a stick build that they have to dive into a little bit deeper.
I tell you what, if they're not a command line person, I'll put it to you like that. If they're not a command line person that's willing or comfortable with typing a lot of stuff in a command line, they could go as simple as a Raspberry Pi or a single board computer, run an ASL, which you just burn an image and put it on there. And if you have an Android phone, you could do an IAX connection through DV Switch Mobile. You wouldn't even need to hook a radio up to it. You're just going to talk through it through telephony, basically through the IAX connection, which is like a half duplex PBX. I've got videos on that, but that would be the bare bones way of doing it. But you need an Android phone. Unfortunately, right now you cannot run DV Switch Mobile Apple device. They just didn't write it for that, and
Golly.
to each his own. Yeah. I have,
Slackers.
I'm a primary Apple person because of where I had to be. I've got an Android phone that does not have service, but it works over Wi-Fi, so I can do everything DV Switch or Android Star. God bless you. And
So, I think he was calling. I think he was going. I think that was some of that underneath there.
Yeah. I'm actually
Jory's a Navy guy, and I recognize that.
See, me personally, I don't think it makes a difference whether they go with the Pi or an x86 64-based computer. I mean, we got Clonezilla out there, which has got the pipelines already set, so they can go that route real simple. Then go with a Pi real simple. When you get into the single board computers, it's a little more work, but I mean, if you're willing to put in the time, you can have a nice little setup.
And the journey is half the battle.
So, Freddie, Dave says Kits for Ham says a pre-built unit you can purchase too.
They have a whole bunch
Absolutely.
of pre-built units.
Yep.
You could all their kits.
And
All their kits you could get assembled for another fee. Which, if you can't solder, Frank and me, is a good deal, because I would destroy the PCBs. They'd be embedded in the drywall. My neighbors would hear me screaming my head off all kinds of obscenities.
Hey.
It's worth
to get it.
It's worth the money to get them to build it for you. If
My
you can't
soldering's
solder, do it.
My soldering's gotten a lot better.
I can't see that, so it's still to be seen. No, I've soldered a few things too, and they actually work.
I think
I'm
going to go.
I'm not going to be soldering.
Is right twice a day.
Not soldering stuff like this or whatever. No.
So there's something to be said for buying pre-built.
Oh yes.
Devices.
You can always go with something like this.
Exactly. Is that the interface box from David Gleason at AllScan?
Yes, sir. That is the 150 interface box.
Yeah.
Hooked into a Raspberry Pi 4 through a buck converter.
Let me show y'all a little something if my OBS will let me.
Are you going to share a screen, Freddie? Do I need to embiggen you?
Yeah, I'm trying to, but OBS won't let me unless I disconnect. So we'll do it like this. This is a nice little device that if you go to allscan.info, this is the AllScan URI 141 USB radio interface. He takes a Retevis. I think this is an RT. I forgot the model.
That's an RT85.
85. Yeah. It's an analog walkie. It's mounted to the sound fob box and it gets its power from it. You hook this into your Raspberry Pi or your computer, whatever you're going to use for an interface computer, and it powers this thing. And the audio on this thing is amazing. This cat knows how to make an interface box. You know, I call them sound fobs, sound cards, sound interfaces, whatever it interfaces between the radio and the computer. He also made. This is the AllScan URI 141 USB radio interface, and this plugs into your computer. The rest of this is already wired up for you. You can type in the frequency you want. This is a UHF or VHF, and you can adjust some of the audio with some instructions that he gives you if you need to adjust it. But when I got it, it just worked. So he also sells little interface boxes too. This is the AllScan URI110 USB.
So, Freddie,
All
I'm
the
going to have to interrupt you for a second. Lee noticed this too. You're all potato quality on your camera tonight.
Pixelated.
It's my internet.
Yeah,
It's my internet. It's
Kick-
trying
kick-
to shift
kick
on
the
me.
grandkids off. Tell the
Yeah,
grandkids to get off
it's
their
why.
iPads for a bit.
It's the wife. She's streaming movies.
I guarantee it. All our television comes over the internet, and that's another reason why I've got to reroute. Well, I'm going to reroute our internet, but we're probably moving in a few months, so all that's subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize for the poor quality if you're not seeing that any better than I see it.
Well, I dropped a link to allscan.info and their
Yes.
products page.
Be sure and check out the
UC120
Jory
as well.
Yes, he's got quite a bit of options on there, really.
I had to
And-
scroll to see the URI 141.
Although
The
you don't
141 is
need
pretty
to have a interface for AllStarLink. You can.
Elaborate on that remark, Jeffrey.
Yes,
I have
Jeffrey.
my Raspberry Pi, my AllStarLink, sitting right there on my desk. It's
Right.
not connected to any computer. I just pick up my radio and go, this is K3GRZ on my All-Star node. Hello, how you doing? No
But that's
computer, no
that-
connection.
Is that the hotspot radios? Or
No, that's the bender.
for-
That's the bender for Meshtastic.
Ah,
Here's
okay,
here's
I'm with
one
you
of the
now.
radios.
All right.
There you go. Talk pod.
Yeah, I also got-
Jetocode.
My VR76N and my Yasus and all that other stuff. But yeah, you don't have to have it connected to a computer. You can use it radiolessly.
Yes.
guess, is that how you
yes,
say it?
You sure
Yes.
can. Radio less.
Radioless.
WKRP. More music and less Messman.
Sans radio.
Yes.
But-
But what's
if
the-
you're the novice, Kids for Hams, hotspot radios, AllScan, they make some great devices to get you started.
so what's the point of having one of those interfaces to the radio to the computer or whatever the device?
Like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Because some of us don't care for Meshtastic.
Well, I don't. Well,
I like to
Meshtastic's
make
not
my
even a
nodes
part of
out of
this right
mobile
now.
radios.
What was that, Freddie? What was that, Freddie? Repeat that.
I'm saying, sorry, I said I like to make my nodes out of mobile radios, and to do
Yes.
that, there has to be this in between the radio and the computer
Yes.
for
But why have it?
to train.
But why have it at all connected to the computer? The radio connected to the computer.
So it can get to the internet.
You know, they
All-
advanced thing
the
called
All-Star-
Wi-Fi. And
Yep, and that still got to go through the computer.
no.
So when
mine-
you are you talking, Jeff, about like connected to a Raspberry Pi?
Why would you have your Raspberry Pi node? Well, okay. I guess it depends on what kind of node you purchase. Like I got one from Kits for Hams, and it's a
Which has a Raspberry Pi in it,
has a Raspberry Pi in
which
the
is a
node.
single board computer.
Yes, and it uses my network wired. Actually, it's not using Wi-Fi. Wired
Mhm.
to my hub or switch or whatever it's called. And it's not connected to my computer in any way, shape, or form, other than it's using the same network.
Well, it is connected to your Raspberry Pi, which is your computer.
A computer, not your computer per se. But
Right.
So, okay, maybe I'm just not sure of every single kind of All-Star device
so
out
okay,
there.
so the All-Star runs on a form of or a version of Asterix, which is a computer-based PBX.
Yeah,
And that's what's running on the Raspberry Pi that links together and essentially creates conference calls between nodes and then it bridges your RF from your radio into that VoIP stream, into that conference. And that's what the computer is for. It's to process your RF and convert it into voice over IP packets to send through the phone system.
So the interfaces that you have, Freddie and Jory, so it's a radio connected to a sound card connected to like a Raspberry Pi or something, or a computer.
Well, the 140
Correct.
and 150 and all them are actually sound cards, full processing, ready to go. The
Okay,
biggest
well, that's
thing
one-
is the way that they're linked.
Okay, I guess that's just one way to do it. Like, I don't know. I'm
Oh, there's
stupid
so
when
many
it comes to
different ways.
like high-end computer stuff. I mean, I understand computers and everything, and can edit videos and music and all that stuff, but
Give
the
me a
technical
second.
aspects of building them and everything, like, well, I've built computers, but the AllstarLink, I mean, I had them build it for me. And it's a Raspberry Pi with a whatever kind of hat on there for All-Star.
You got the Sherry Pie hat on top, which is
Yes.
basically linking a sound card with an antenna directly to the Pi.
Right.
Same concept.
That hat board
So I
is a
went-
radio.
So I did a simpler
Yes,
setup
I've
than
got.
you guys.
You're talking one similar to this.
Similar, yeah. It's like the P52 one or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's one of the newer
52.
ones.
Yeah. But yeah, and like that one, you can't you connected that one to a Raspberry Pi just through its USB ports.
But it uses the SA818 sound
Yep.
card,
Okay.
where you take most nodes are built using a CM.
Oh, hang on.
108.
Let me embiggen and Jory. There we go.
There we go.
But you got your C1, CM108 sound card. You got your amplifier, mic controls. I mean, it all depends on what you want to build and how good
Okay.
you want it to sound.
So, alrighty. So if you want to go the, I
There's
guess the more DIY way, that'd be the way to go. Or
Right.
if you don't
There's
like to
million
build and you have freaking lamb chops for hands and you can't solder or squat, you get someone else to build the node for you, and it's all in one. So there you go. Okay.
But yeah, you take this one right here, Jeff. This one cost me
Mhm.
about $10 to build, literally.
Well, it would cost me probably a few $100 with me destroying my house. So
So I think what I'm hearing is Jeff needs a good drywall guy on retainer.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, there's like
Alrighty.
a billion different ways to build an all-star node. And let's
Yeah.
not forget, there's a company out there called ClearNode. Their kits are pricey, but they're very good. And they also they don't only do AllstarLink, they will also do PiStar. But it's their version of software. But it's basically an MMDVM and an analog side that you control the whole thing through a phone app. I've actually seen that happen. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
So I will say this tonight, while we don't have Vince here to spend your money, we do have Freddie Mac. Let's see, pointing sort of the right way here. We have Freddie Mac here to spend your money tonight. I'll say this much: I need to get All-Star. I need to get an All-Star. I was trying to, and didn't get all the parts acquired. But Freddie, you've reignited the fire under my under my toolkit to get it going.
No, my
I tell
biggest
you what.
problem with their node is it's supposed to be a GPL software as they're using the kernel and everything, and he refuses to put the software out as
No.
it's supposed to be.
And he won't let you build your own kit. It's he builds it only kind of a situation. Which, to each his own. I've heard a lot of praise about it. It's a bit pricey for me, but I like building stuff. I've always been a tinkerer, and hey, if I can build it myself, I'll have a lot of fun with it. I do have a Sherry Pie hat. I do have a Hotspot Radios duplex node. I do use Hotspot Radios Uris like these, only it's their sound interface. Totally love them, but I like to build.
Freddie Mac, I was just I was looking at this website here while we were talking, the AllScan, and looking down at the radio interface, the 141, the purple one you had, at $89. I don't think is and it's
But
purple.
there's a kit with the radio
Purple.
already on it.
Yes,
Probably a little bit.
and I was going to point that out, is that for $119, it's a pre-made kit with the HT, as you had mentioned. And I think Jeff, you okay? Yeah. I think I've got one of the Sherry Pies, and they use the SA818 RF module in there, and I don't think they've got the best rejection in them. And I'm not knocking it or anything, but it's great. If you're out in the middle of nowhere where I live, there's not much in the way of extraneous RF flying around, so it's not that big of a deal. But something like this, maybe with a little bit nicer HT that you can plug into it, seems to maybe be a better option. And I kind of was thinking about that, but then also I looked a little bit further down, and it looks like they've got a full duplex node option too.
That's what I was showing you.
Yeah,
that's what Jory had.
It's
I'm
a full
looking at the
duplex. It's a
website.
mini repeater, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website too. Right when you said that, I was looking at that. I'm like, that's what Jory just showed. Yeah.
Yep.
And Freddie Tarn says, thanks to Freddie, I have 3 nodes.
Well, you can never have too many.
We have to start an AllstarLink support group.
Well, that's funny you mention it, Freddie. Last I checked, that's over in your Discord server, isn't
pretty
it?
much, we all fan of crowdsourcing, and like, now I like for folks to bring ideas to the table. Most folks over there bring problems to the table, and we try to help them with them. And bless Jory's heart, man, he's got the patience of Job. It's tough sometimes because some folks,
he helps the stupid Linux people like me. I understand like you typing in, but sometimes some instructions are not always clear for some people. I'm used to seeing stuff laid out a little bit differently. So
sure.
Yes, he explains it really well when you're chatting with him. I was going to say talking, but when you're chatting with him in Discord, yes.
By all means. It just
looks like we have have somebody here. Anthony has 8 nodes now.
8 nodes,
darn.
Man. I don't think I can
Sounds like
that.
he needs to join the support group.
Well, that's okay. Dave right below him says if you have 3 nodes, you need to build a hub.
Yep. So actually, real quick, can we talk about hubs? Because there's we hear about nodes, but there are also hubs out there too.
There are hubs out there, and basically what a hub is to me, and please correct me if you have a different description, it's basically a radialist node and I like mine is on a cloud server. I pay $5 a month for it, and it handles all the internet traffic for me. I mean, it takes the load off of my network. So if you want to join up your hub, it's just an AllstarLink node without a radio. And what I do with it is I join my hub to Jason, Ham Radio 2.0's hub, 43136, and I leave them connected. And my repeaters here locally will connect to my hub, which is connected to his hub. People will connect to him. It basically is if you want to talk to somebody else that you know is going to be connected to Jason's hub, I can connect to my hub and talk to him or whatever, and then disconnect and isolate myself from the pack if I want to. It gives you an option to load bear more than anything. Not that it really needs it. And some people will take a hub and build it on a Linux machine and keep it at their house, give it its own node number and handle it that way. But it's just what you want to do at the end of the day.
Okay. And there's also a comment in here from DJ. He says, Jory's a great guy waiting for his finished. He is great.
Oh, we're fixing to show it.
Yeah.
Well, looky there.
We and when I say we, I mean Jory has been working on porting over Supermon 2 from HamVoIP over to ASL3 and customizing the fool out of it.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot of work on Supermon, and Jory asked me one day, he said, or what new? What's something new you'd like to see? And I'm like, I really miss Superman 2 from Hamvoit. And it looked like it was going to turn into some work. And he's like, what about it that you miss the most? And what I miss the most is having that node and weather information inside of the node table, like they did in Superman 2 over on Hamvoit. And he made it happen. It's like, boom, there it is. And then he's like, I'm going to keep working on Superman 2. And
This looks very well done already.
oh yeah, and it, anything to make your dashboard customizable and awesome looking.
You got to log in for it.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Is it masked or am I going to have to?
It's masked.
Okay.
Now everybody knows Freddie Mac's
Yeah.
password.
Yeah.
Just as long as I don't hit that show password button, right? All right.
Let's see. Of course, you can do your customization as you want to, but it is very reminiscent of the old Superman 2 with a way better look.
Now, Freddie, I do have this plussed up a little bit so viewers can see it on the screen. So anything you want me to look at in specific or show, guys?
You can show them the all-star status if you'd like. It's something that's been broke with Superman forever.
You're gonna have to tell me where that. Freddie, you're probably better to drive this than I am, or maybe Tim.
Well, look up in the buttons. You were almost on it. 2, 3 up from the bottom.
3 up.
All-star status.
Ah, there
Right
we go. Oh, of course that opens a new window. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay.
Gosh,
Let's see
darn
here.
it, Frank.
Stop that. Share screen. Share
darn it.
entire screen. Let's share the right one. There we go. Tim?
Are you sure you're sharing the right one?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, I don't want to, because we get any complaints, please send those to k@mrd@icloud.net.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So this is the right window now.
But that particular section has been broke from what I can figure since about 2017, 2018 in every version of Superman that's been released.
And this one works.
So you can actually, at the bottom here, you can actually see how many packets you've lost on a connection.
4,099 on that one connection.
Exactly. That's coming off of the South Coast Reflector down here in the Texas, Louisiana area. So you get a lot of packet loss due to DMR. We got what is that?
DB switch.
Oh, it's got multiple DV switches. I've got TGIF tied in, picking up one of our repeaters into TGIF so people can use TGIF to access.
Ooh,
There
that
you
reminds me. Yesterday, I don't know if it fell. Was the DB switch update yesterday or was that day before?
That was yesterday.
Yesterday, there's a small update that will come down with your DB switch, and it changes the location of the web page that you pull it up locally. Before you would put in your node number. You'd put in your IP address or your local host name / index.php to pull up your DB switch dashboard. After that update, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
Is this breaking news? Because I need to get the Chiron going. And the intro music for breaking news.
Well, it technically is. A lot of people are going to ask this question, and I'm trying to head it off at the pass.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
well, let's go ahead.
It's all good.
Just say, hey, please. When they ask about this, can you go? You just need to go to minute 36 in.
Right.
Well, nonetheless, after you do an update, anytime from henceforward to your AllstarLink node, and you try to access your DV switch dashboard and it's not there, change the address from index.php to DV switch. Refresh the screen and it should pop right back up.
Not necessarily.
It worked for me. I can tell you that much.
You'll need to reboot it first, Freddie.
No. You could end up having to adjust config.php, I believe it is. That's got the AB info in it.
Okay.
adjust the
We
port
may
number
just
from
do a video.
31001 to whatever port you're using.
I see. See, this is information we need right there. I've done it on 2 nodes and it's worked. But they were, one's a radioless, the other one has a radio. So far, so good.
And
But
they can actually find that info, Freddie, in the script for MMEPS. It's in there.
and it's also reachable through us at the Discord server.
There you go.
There's always some info in the Discord server, one way or the
Always
other.
reasonable.
I love it when people show up at 3:00 in the morning and ask a question. I'm like, mute. I'll get back to you in the morning.
Why aren't you answering my question? I asked it 2 minutes ago. Why haven't you answered me yet?
No,
I
Jeff.
quit.
It's 0.2 milliseconds ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Not 2 minutes. That's too much time.
So I just I
Must
did
be
post
kind.
in the chat. Oh, it looks like Frank got it too. The
Yeah.
Discord
Oh,
for Ham Radio Crusader. And what's the specific channel that they need to look for in the Discord for?
No, it depends on what they're looking for, really, Tim. If it's DV
Yeah.
Switch, they should go to DV Switch. If they're dealing with All-Star, of course, All-Star channel.
We've
Okay.
got a good breakdown of different topics in there.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there's a lot of good topics in the Ham Radio Crusader Discord.
Well, I'll tell you.
So I got to give a testimonial here. I am an IT guy, but when it comes to this, some of this Linux stuff is just, even though I support Linux, the Linux stuff is just kind of out of my wheelhouse sometimes. And I have,
Hey, everybody tells me that, Tim, but I got a question for you.
yes, sir.
Do you run an Android device?
I've got an Android and I've got Apple.
Okay, every Android device ever made is Linux.
Oh yeah. No, I do a lot with Linux. I just don't do it much.
You're not doing a lot of command line through that phone, though, are you?
It's command line that gets me. But where I was going was, I took my All-Star, Freddie Mac, myself, and there was about 7 or 8 others of us that had met up at over in Springfield, Missouri for the More Expo. And one of the nice things about All-Star was that I was able to take my node with me in the truck, and I was able to get it connected to my phone to tether it. And we were able to have a conversation, all of us in different states and different parts of the country coming together, and without having to find repeaters or all this other stuff, and just using off the shelf FM radios, we were all able to communicate and have a conversation and coordinate and, well, just quite honestly, keep conversation while we're driving. Freddie Mac was able to, what's the play? Fix all my problems with my All-Star node that I was having and get me up to date and give me some of the new, some of these new scripts that Jory has been working on loaded in.
Hey, Tim.
And then my antenna
Tim,
broke.
Did he have to reboot it?
No, he actually did not reboot the node.
There you go.
But he did restart Asterix a few times, which is the proper procedure,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But then the next was Sunday, whenever we were heading, or Saturday night we were heading out. My antenna was broken.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I had to buy a new antenna port and soldered onto the board. So it's fixed and it's up and running now.
Sweet.
But
I'm not
definitely
solderoids.
no, God, Frank. I know how to solder. That I went to school for. Can't type on a computer, but I can definitely solder. But it's I really like All-Star, and I jokingly refer to it as my favorite digital mode. It's not, it's analog, but it is using voice over IP. And I know some people will probably get all twisted up saying that's not real ham radio, but whatever.
To each his own.
To each his own. It's fun nonetheless. And it's all good. It's all good use of technology, and we're experimenters. We're experimenting and we're having fun.
For real.
And looks like Jory is doing that. And Jory, you mentioned you built something. It was about $10 in parts. The device that you had pulled out earlier. That's something that you've put together.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, David actually sells a kit for it, but I sourced all my own parts, a lot cheaper. but $10 and you get them fired up. Takes maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours if you got a little bit of experience soldering. Calm down.
Just a
Frank's
little
getting
bit.
better. We'll give Frank some slack there. He is getting better.
Yeah.
Still thinks he's painting by numbers, but it's okay.
No, I've gotten past that, Tim. I've gotten past the paint by numbers.
Okay.
He just needs more heat in that iron.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man.
Well, I'm at 600 degrees already, so
Turn it up.
apparently it's
600
too
ain't nothing.
much.
It depends on how thick of the material that you are soldering to. So wattage is important when it comes to the amount your iron can put out.
Freddie, you've done a Poseidon, right?
Jump up to 900, 980.
See? And is that a Weller?
No,
What brand is that?
this
Frank
is
needs Those are good brands.
what brand was this one? This is the Yahoo.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
You got to throw the hot.
About $79.
Yes. And having a good desoldering station, which I don't have right now, but plan on getting, is a big help too if you want to fix components on a circuit board that you need to extract. That's where the real frustration begins.
Well, most of the time people get frustrated soldering when they're dealing with the wrong tip on their iron to begin with.
Well, that's and knowing
Yeah.
your equipment is half the battle, man. For real.
I'm still learning.
I was fortunate enough 30 years ago, right after high school, I worked for an electronics manufacturer in a small town. And to be working on these projects for this subcontractor, you had to go to a soldering class. It was a MIL S 45743 Revision E certification of level of soldering. I didn't even do soldering, but you were required to take this course. It was 2 weeks long, and you had to go after work every day for a couple of weeks. And I was a little hacked about it because I was like 19 years old. but it taught me. They taught me so much, and they went down to really specific levels. You couldn't have any cold joints. You couldn't have any pits in your joints. It was all perfection stuff, which I didn't do enough back then, but it gave me the leg up to be able to solder like a decent human being with small stuff. Most importantly, when you get into the bigger stuff from the building the antennas, boy, having that right amount of heat is key.
Oh, I can't wait to see how Tim clips this conversation.
Yep. So hey,
So
hold on now. Put your thing away there, Frank. Put it away.
That's what I say to my
We-
dog
we-
all
we
the
can
time.
do
How
this
many
on the
times you've
big
been told that in your life?
Yeah.
not
well,
a whole lot.
Let's not go there.
Let's keep going.
Please forward all complaints to k@mrd@icloud.net. You might find it on a version of Mailbag Monday that may or may not be up in the
Right.
future. But no. So Freddie, earlier, and I think it was off before the stream, you had mentioned, you do the dad joke Wednesdays and everything, and you're finding you're getting these things all over the place now, and in the 27 different places you got to check. I want to just point this out, but you are now getting them here on the ham radio kids table too.
That one was actually in today's Dad Joke Wednesday.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Yes,
and,
it was.
and Taryn Denza said that was a Freddie original. And I was just going to come up with Jody and go, Freddie, start thinking about a good joke. We have 15 minutes left in the show.
I'll tell you at More Expo. What is the difference between a hippo and a Zippo? A hippo is really heavy, and a Zippo is a little lighter.
Oh.
That is grade A dad joke right there.
No, grade A dad joke is, what do you call a nun that sleepwalks?
I don't know.
Roman Catholic.
A Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
All I got to say to that one is
Down.
There you go.
Wow.
Totally love it.
mhm.
Oh,
So,
man,
So if I remember right, Freddie, and the story goes that when you were doing some videos on ham VoIP, and the folks over at ASL reached out to you when they were getting ready to launch this and ask you if you wanted to get involved in doing some videos. Is that
That's the long and short of it. I thought it was.
that's long
I thought it
short?
was I thought it was a prank at first. I really
No.
did
Well,
because
Freddie, you don't get pranked. You
I
prank.
that's what I'm saying because I'm suspicious of everything at face value, and then I have to look into it and look around it and whole 9 yards. But we're coming up on a year. That was June of 2023. Tim, gee whiz.
So his math don't add either.
Say again.
I said, so your math don't add either. We're coming up
No.
on 2 years.
Well, there you go.
2024 then. I'm sorry. June 2024. That's right, because I didn't retire until July of 2023. And it was after that. So yeah, it was June 2024. Tim emailed me and he's like, hey, we got a grant. We wrote AllstarLink. Got version 3. We're getting ready to release it. And hey, would you like to do a video on it so we can introduce it when the time comes? And I'm like, does a bear defecate in rural areas? Yeah, I want to do a video. Are you kidding me? This is my thing, man. But the catch was when I realized, I knew right away this isn't HamVoIP. This is AllstarLink. HamVoIP's Arch Linux, AllstarLink Debian 12. And I had a little bit of a learning curve to get around. They image that night, and I cratered 5 images in no time, because I kept trying to go approach it like it was a HamVoIP node. And they're like, okay, now here's the manual. Here's how you do it the right way. And before you know it, I had it down. I didn't have it down. I was a lot better at it. Tim walked me through RPConf because they structure theirs. It's the same functionality, only theirs is condenses the way you have to do things, so you're not repeating yourself a bunch. And it's totally functional. I wished I would have started there. I really do. But HamVoIP was all the rage, and there was a lot of support for it, and everybody knew how to use it. There wasn't quite as much for ASL at the time. And yeah, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Before ASL 3 come along, ASL looked a little vanilla to me. It worked, but there wasn't a lot of extra features that we were getting into. And there was with HamVoIP. But ASL 3 comes out, and we've got brand new version of Asterisk, and we've got functionality. We got long-term support. So now we've got room for customization and expansion and additions. And oh man, it's just monster now. That's great.
Well, so something that you just mentioned, Arch Linux versus Debian. The Arch Linux, it's a much older version. Is that correct?
Arch Linux is not the actual older version.
It is for HamVoIP.
It's Asterisk that is the old version.
You broke up, Jory. Say again.
Okay, Arch Linux is basically just a rolling release is what it was. So basically, they're stuck over on Asterisk though 1.4. When they developed into ASL 3, they wanted to get it to where it was a rolling release of a distribution, but they wanted the Asterisk version to be able to roll it with it. And that's where we're at now. We've jumped from 22 to, I believe we're at 23 now. I could be wrong. Okay,
so from all the things that matters to people like myself who are in the IT industry that are concerned about security and updates with the ASL version compared to HamVoIP, and this isn't I'm not picking on either one, but with the ASL being a newer version and a newer version of the operating system, they're staying on top of security updates and everything and patches as they come out, or as vulnerabilities are discovered, versus I'm assuming the Arch Linux and the older version of HamVoIP is not being updated. Is that?
It's not updated like it used to be. Where Debian is, we get all our major security patches from Debian. We don't get them from ASL 3. We get them from Debian.
Okay, so when you're doing the update, as far as in the dashboard, when you do the system updates,
Yeah, you're getting your updates from Debian. You're getting any updates that have gone into the ASL repo and any other repos that you might have configured at that point.
So Jody said Arch Linux is so old that when it first booted up, the dinosaurs thought it was a kernel update.
And actually, it's very wrong. It's Arch Linux has a very current release, and it's actually one of the better rolling releases.
Yes.
There you go, Jody.
I caught most of that. My internet's trying to crap out here at the house, so I apologize.
We saw that. We saw that. Well, guys,
Yeah.
we are coming up on the end of the hour here. Real quick, if we just want to go around the horn and drop what we got going on, we can get this wrapped up and get out of here before Ham Nation starts. Jory, thank you very much for jumping in. Freddie Mac, you too. Jory, anything going on? Anything that you want to promote?
Yeah, but the only thing I've got going on is I've went ahead and pushed Supermon 2 into the GitHub, my GitHub, and it's available for those that want to start experimenting, playing, those that want to take and contribute back to the project, try to make it better. But that's about all I've got going on lately.
Which we very much appreciate.
Frank, real quick, can you put Jory's
Jory, if you'll drop it in the private chat, I'll drop it in the
GitHub.com/hardened penguin. All together, lowercase.
There you go.
He got it in the
Hardened.
got it.
All right.
There you go.
Awesome. Freddie Mac, how about you? What do you got going on, my friend?
All kinds of stuff going on here. I've got radio reviews that I'm fixing to bounce out again. Got a brand new Bayo thing they sent me with GPS. Got started on that review video. If you've seen my UV25 Plus video, this one's going to go hand in hand with the next review, but I'm starting a review of ASL AllstarLink sound fobs, and I've got one coming out next week on the Hotspot Radio's duplex node, and I'll move on to different nodes from there. But there'll be a series of those before it's all said and done. I just want everybody out there to have access to as much information as they can about their AllstarLink products. So all kinds of stuff coming up.
Awesome. Jeff, how about you? What do you got
I
going on?
have going on? Slowly working on some videos. Yeah, work's taking up some of my time, and some other things are going on. But other than that, if you missed it, you missed my new video that premiered before this live stream. So go back and watch it, and please subscribe, because I'm still doing the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, where you can be one of 7 people that wins a prize package. K3 GRZ on the air.
That.
Subscribe, please.
And I've been dropping links to everybody's YouTube as well.
Awesome. Frank, what do you got going on?
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, of course, Freddie. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Unfortunately, due to other circumstances, I'm not going to get into it. First Friday of the month, Q&A AMA. I have right of refusal to answer questions, though, depending upon what's asked, but we'll cover any topics. Second and fourth Thursday of the month, so that means this Friday is CQ Chit Chat, and I have a very fun topic for this week, and I'm going to have 2 fantastic guests on with me to chat about that. And Thursdays at 10 p.m. Central, the Northern California SwapNet is also hosted on my channel. I know it's a little late for you guys in Central and Eastern time, but 8 o'clock Pacific for me. So it works out, and that's how it's been done for years. Tim, what about you?
Well, I got some stuff in the mail today, and I'm going to go ahead and show them here for the 25 people that are watching right now. Whoa, come on.
Stickers.
Oh,
I got
Ooh,
stickers, but
nice.
not just any stickers.
Hamvention 25 stickers.
Hamvention 25 stickers, commemorative stickers. You know what? Don't tell the guys over at Car, but I think we're gonna co-op their meetup at the flagpoles at Hamvention.
Oh,
But I will have those there. Commemorative. Got to be there to get one. If you're there, we will get you one until they last. And Make it exclusive. So
Well,
got
Tim,
that.
don't you
Mhm.
know they're not meeting at the flagpole this year?
Well, we'll whatever.
They have their own table now, thanks to Balmer Mike.
We're going to do a takeover.
There you go.
Yes, we will. We will.
Invasion, as it were.
An invasion.
Yes.
There we go. But don't tell anybody. Whatever you guys do, do not tell anybody.
Yeah, especially you, Jody. Don't let the Canadians
Yeah, Jody.
slip.
Yes, especially you, Jody.
And
But
don't email
you know-
Mike, KMART@iCloud.com.
yes, yeah, whatever you do not email that to k@mrd@icloud.com.
Or APRS message or WinLink message.
Yeah, don't do that. But so I got the ZBit X in this week, and I was excited about it. And I was actually had about 5 videos lined up. Vince has done a great job with the videos along the lines of CW with that radio, and so I was going to make some other videos on some things, and I had about 5 or 6 videos lined up, and smoked the board. So I don't know what's going on with it. I do know what's going on with that, but I'm gonna reach out to the guys over at HF Signals to to help me out with it first before I complain about it. It's not a big deal, but nonetheless, the board is power inputs not happy. So so that I've had to kind of shift gears on that one, and we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's about it in a nutshell. Just going to be working on some videos. It's warming up around here, so I will be out doing more Parks on the Air activations at probably around 7 p.m. Eastern till about 8:30. Try to get both days, do the night shift, try to get some 20 and some 40 in. I do a lot of 40 at night and around here. So I get about a 400-mile radius around here with a 10 watts, and it's a good time. And occasionally you'll get a joker or two that loves to tune up, but or just cause interference, but that's okay.
I will say this. It is 6 p.m. Pacific time. I've dropped the link to Ham Nation. Go tell them we sent you.
So, yep, we're going to get out of here. Guys, everybody, have a wonderful evening. Go enjoy Ham Nation, and we will talk to everybody later in 73.
73.
73. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya later. Dun dun